Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Suze. I want to talk about a really interesting subject today, truth or myth. Once a cheater, always a cheater, right? I think probably everyone has heard that at some point in their time. Oh, you can't trust them. Once a cheater, always a cheater. And today's topic of conversation kind of goes off of the video I did yesterday. I was talking about leaky energy. But before I got into the idea of leaky energy, I was talking about something that is really important to recognize in the world of dealing with humans and behavior and love and romance, relationships, whatever. Something energetically, because that's always my message. We're looking at the energies underneath the surface that is therefore then manifesting as the physical reality that we're experiencing or seeing with our human eyes and our human senses, right? It's never what it seems. It's always the thing behind the thing. So I want to talk about cheating today and the idea, once a cheater, always a cheater. Is that true or false? So going back to the idea of the energetics of everything, right? I was talking yesterday about the fact of something I stumbled across when I was really looking into parenting and learning how to parent in a different way with my children and wanting to kind of break out of the more traditional ways of parenting and like how I was parented and how there were many aspects of it that I personally didn't really agree with. And I kind of had wished that my experience as a child had been a little bit different. So I was trying to go at parenting a little differently. And one psychological thing that I stumbled across, which I found extremely helpful, is that when you're seeing a behavior from your child that you don't like, it's unacceptable. You're seeing an unacceptable behavior being shown to you in front of you. Traditionally, I think a lot of the parenting models we're focusing on, I gotta change that behavior, or I gotta call out that behavior. I need to discipline that behavior or course correct that behavior because that behavior is unacceptable. And I don't want my child showing that unacceptable behavior, right? And it's very rigid and it's very cold and it is a very unhealthy masculine approach of way to look at it. Because if we start to look behind that thing that we don't like, the unpleasant experience or the unacceptable behavior of the child, or clearly anyone, there's actually a need. If we understand that the unacceptable or the unpleasant behavior or situation is simply a symptom trying to tell me there is a need coming from that other person that is not being met in this dynamic. There's a need. So now I can move into the place of compassion and really deep feminine nurturing energy, emotionally available energy. And this is where healing takes place. If I understand that what I'm seeing that's happening in this exchange with this person, this child, this situation, something is coming at me that I don't like and it's unacceptable. Is there maybe a need happening behind this thing? This thing is just a symptom of a deeper need. Keeping that in mind, let's go into the world of cheating. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Truth or myth? What is happening with cheating? Well, if we go into the energetics of it, again, nothing is what it seems and you have to go deeper than most people are willing to look. You have to slow down and go behind the surface level of what's happening. If we understand with physical intimacy, what's happening with physical intimacy beyond the physical aspect of it, beyond the body and the physical experience and sensations and pleasures of the physical body, what's happening in physical intimacy? Energetically, what's happening? And let's go into even more. If we understand manifestation really deeply, manifestation is simply anything we view in our physical existence is, again, just something that is an energetic something that is manifesting as the physical thing in the world. Kind of just all this mirage, right? If you want to get a little mystical with it, it's a mirage. So What is happening with physical intimacy is that really, truly, if you really become aware, it's actually physical intimacy is a manifestation of emotional intimacy or a desire for emotional intimacy. And when I say emotional intimacy, I mean real, raw, vulnerable, emotional availability, emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, kind of emotional intimacy. The mask is off. My heart is wide open. My heart is having an open-hearted experience with someone else. There is a beautiful exchange of love energy from one heart to another heart. The absence of ego, of humility, compassion, vulnerability, partnership, emotional safety, emotional stability, emotional growth together between two hearts. That's emotional intimacy to me. And if we recognize that physical intimacy is just a manifestation of a desire for emotional intimacy, and that if you're not aware, again, of the underlying stuff, the energies that are happening, and any wounded parts of myself that I'm taking into the act of physical intimacy, I'm gonna think, if I'm working at a superficial level, I'm gonna equate physical intimacy with emotional intimacy, or I'm going to, out of habit and subconscious behavior, I'm going to choose physical intimacy as a quick hit of thinking I've grasped, I have a situation of emotional intimacy. And if I'm actually not emotionally available to myself, and I haven't done the work to be emotionally available to myself and to others, if I haven't really put myself in the hot seat of really being emotionally available, emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent, I'm going to think that the physical intimacy is giving me the emotional intimacy. Because there's validation at play, which again is going to get you emotionally feeling a particular kind of way. There's the desire, particularly for women, there's the desire piece, which is emotionally going to gratify me in some kind of a way. So I'm getting emotional hits off of it. And again, I'm not talking about, this isn't about physical intimacy. It doesn't necessarily have to be emotional involvement. It can be a strictly physical intimacy thing, which is often what's happening with cheating. It's not necessarily an emotional involvement on the outside cheating piece. It's often just a physical level thing. However, I'm doing the physical level thing because underneath that, I'm still getting some emotional needs met that aren't being met over here. And it's not necessarily linked to that particular person. It's the physical act of the physical intimacy that in some way underneath is giving me emotional feelings that I know subconsciously, that I know I should be getting in my other partnership over here, the relationship that I'm actually committed to, the relationship that I'm cheating on, right over here. I hope this makes sense. This is a complicated kind of story, and I'm going to be kind of expanding on this in some other videos going forward, because I've really had to do a lot of work, and I really see in the world around us how this physical intimacy and sex and sexual behavior, there is so much dysfunction in our world and so much shame around this subject. But at the end of the day, what's happening underneath are there deep emotional needs that are not being met. And so these behaviors on the surface, these unacceptable behaviors on the surface, we're participating in, or they're manifesting around us, and we're shaming that instead of looking underneath. What are the needs that are not being met for me here, that I'm then therefore going somewhere else and looking for and not even realizing that's what I'm doing? I think it's just a physical thing. And I think I'm just engaging in this physical thing. And I think that this cheating on the side, I'm not emotionally involved. So, whatever. Can we look at this a little deeper? It's an emotional intimacy thing, emotional need thing that you're only getting an instant gratification, superficial level hit on with the cheating. The problem is much deeper. And the problem in the relationship that is being cheated on, the problem in the actual commitment is there's a lack of emotional intimacy. I kind of want to leave the video here. I really hope this helped. Please leave me some comments. Let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if I broke that down well for you and if you resonate with this and this helped you bring some clarity and maybe even some forgiveness for yourself or for someone else if you have been involved in dynamics where cheating was involved. We really need to get the shame out of all of this stuff in our lives and understand what's happening at the core and go to the root of the matter and heal things at the root of the matter. And then realize that from there out, the physical reality changes. But if we're constantly looking outside of ourselves at the physical reality and trying to change that, that's only manipulation and it's not authentic. And we're not supplying our own needs and heart's desires that our hearts are really trying to pull us towards. I hope this video helped. Please do like and subscribe if you found value here to help support my channel, help support my message, and let me know in the comments what really resonated, what really hit you about this message. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one.